What's up guys, Trevor here, and today I just want to show you my skateboard mini ramp that's at my house. So I want to talk about it a little bit, how I came to decide to make it like I did, and the dimensions and things like that, the company I had build it, and what I think about it in my review. So this is your typical mini ramp, but it's a little bit different than your typical mini ramp in that I didn't have enough space lengthwise to build it with enough flat bottom. Usually mini ramps have maybe like 2 to 3 times as much flat bottom as this one does for the size it is. But unfortunately I just didn't have the space to work with. The space that I had here was a square space, and I couldn't take down the wall over here that I wanted to take down. So it is what it is. And I basically just worked with it the best I could, built the size mini ramp that I wanted to build, that is fun to skate, easy to learn on, and is a bit challenging as well. So that's kind of the idea. So let's talk about it. The dimensions, I believe, are around 14 feet lengthwise, and about maybe 8 feet widthwise. And okay, then the flat bottom is maybe like 2 feet. So as you get, it's a pretty small flat bottom. But the total height of the mini ramp is about 2 feet as well. And so as you can kind of tell from the video, I have a roof over it. And when I first bought this house, actually, there was no roof over it. It was basically open air. And the builders of the house really made this space intended for a swimming pool to be created. Whereas I didn't want to make a swimming pool because I don't really use swimming pools that often, and it's just too small to get any good swim in. So it doesn't really make sense for a swimming pool. And I'm a skateboarder, so I really wanted to have some sort of a mini ramp at my house. Ideally some sort of a street setup, but these are townhouses. My house is located directly connected to 2 other houses on both sides, so I didn't want to have a street setup because street skating is a lot of banging, a lot of jumping up and down. Whereas mini ramp skating, usually just rolling, some banging, but it's not quite as loud, so the mini ramp made more sense. Now, I chose to do it concrete instead of wood, which I sort of regret a little bit because when the guys came to build it, I had already installed the roof because it was just the end of rainy season here in Bali, and there was a lot of rain. So if I would have left the roof open to let the dust out, there also would have been a lot of rain falling on the project, which may have hampered things a bit. But kind of looking back, I probably should have left it open because there was so much dust created from the sanding down of the concrete. It just infiltrated the house, and I had to use big fans to kind of carry the dust out of the house, and it was a huge mess. We had to clean it up afterwards, and the workers really had a rough time with it as well. So I would not recommend doing concrete indoors unless you have a really good filtration system to get the dust out, or it's like kind of an outdoor setting. Maybe you just have like a roof and some walls, but enough airflow to get the concrete dust out, because there's a lot of dust when you pour concrete and when you sand it and all that. So I should have probably done a wood mini ramp, and I maybe could have done it a little bit thinner as well, but I like the width and it's really nice. The company that I had do it here in Bali is Motion Skate Park Company, and they're really good builders, really professional, and they follow like the best techniques for building concrete and wood skate parks. So I would recommend Motion Skate Park Company in Bali. You can look them up on Instagram, and they do pretty much most of all the really good skate parks here in Bali. There's a couple other skateboard companies in Indonesia, specifically like Java Island instead of Bali Island, but yeah, this is great, and I'm really happy with it for what it is. It's a lot of fun to skate, and yeah, if you are interested in doing a mini ramp at your house and you're in Bali, definitely hit up Motion Skate Park Company. If you're not, if you're in like California or in the US, there's lots of great mini ramp builders out there, like OC Ramps or Keen Ramps, or one of those companies will be able to do a great job for you. And if you're building something inside of a house that you purchased, I would probably recommend doing wood, just because then you have the option of tearing it down later. I didn't really think that through all the way, so now I have a concrete mini ramp in my house. Whereas like if I want to sell the house later, it might be kind of difficult because it would have to be somebody who is willing to have like a concrete mini ramp in their house. Maybe somebody with kids or something like that. But I don't know that I'm going to be selling this place. I think I'm going to hold on to it, and probably maybe in the future, if I get another house, I'll probably rent this one out or Airbnb it, kind of and feature the mini ramp is like a really cool thing about it. Obviously, there's going to be some liability things with that I'll have to overcome with contracts, but that's okay. We'll figure it out when time comes. So the other thing I wanted to cover is the radius of the transition. So I had two choices, a mellower transition or a steeper transition. Looking back, I probably should have done the steeper transition, considering it would have also made a shorter distance. Like I could have added more flat ground, also a distance between the mini ramp and the wall. Because right now the mini ramp and the wall are so close that I can't really do blunt stalls that easily. I definitely can't really do nose blunts because the blunt stall has to be so vertical that it doesn't really allow it to pop out enough. Which is fine. It's actually, the mellow transition is nice and it makes it easy to learn, slash grinds and different trick variations. But it being so close, the walls being so close to each other, it makes it very difficult to land out of a more advanced mini ramp trick because the next wall is so close, you really have to be ready for the next wall. Most mini ramps have enough flat bottoms so where you land out, you can kind of like adjust first and then you hit the next wall. But this one, like you're almost right into the next wall right away, so it makes it more difficult for that. And so, it's more challenging, it's a little bit less forgiving. And there's pros and cons to that. The pro, I guess, is that because it's less forgiving, you're going to learn to be a bit more steady over your skateboard when you land out of tricks. Also, you're going to be able to learn to adjust and adapt right away to the next transition as you're doing stuff. One of the major cons is that I found myself getting really dizzy since it's so close if I do the same turn over and over again. Like if I do backside tricks, backside all the time, I just start getting dizzy. So what I found is best with tight transition is to do a backside to a front side, backside to front side. Then I'm not really turning myself too much, but I'm just sort of doing the same motion and my brain doesn't get all messed up. So, I've had to adjust to this mini ramp and I still really like it. It's great for warm-ups. It's great for rainy day skating. It's just great for like trying new stuff. And it's right in my house. The rest of my house is just 5 steps away. So I really can't complain. I love this thing. And if you're interested in building a mini ramp and you're in Bali, definitely hit up Motion. They're a great company to work with. David, one of the lead builder of Motion, is a great guy and really skilled at his craft. So that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the mini ramp or suggestions or anything like that. Definitely curious to hear what you guys have to say about it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys out there.